Good morning you guys, it's Karen and I have got a massive Empties. Look at this. There's so much in here. It got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to do an Empties, and ever since then I've finished loads of other things and been putting them in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, because you guys know for an Empties I like to tell you as much as I can about the product, because it's a pet peeve of mine if I watch a video and somebody goes, oh my god, you've got to buy this, I love it, it's so good, like it's just, oh I love it, you have to buy this, and then passes on. There are people that do that and I'm like, but why? Like, what did it do for you? What, you know? So I try not to be like that. But there's a lot to get through. So I'm just going to grab things, tell you as much as I can and fling them aside. So let's start with this one that's already here. This is the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Shampoo. I do love this. I would repurchase it. I'm not going to lie, one of the reasons I would repurchase it is for the smell, because using this with the conditioner left the smell in your hair, and there's not many things, shampoo or otherwise, that make your hair smell, and this does. Your hair smells of Moroccan oil and it's gorgeous. But I also use this, in fact I might buy this today because my hair has gone back to being that kind of menopausey hair. So I put the Olaplex on it last night and it feels so much better today, but I still might get one of these and use this with the conditioner because that did definitely help. So I'll leave that there and won't fling it. This is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid Toning Solution. I really like this bottle. I really like this product, but I have to say I don't notice anything different with my skin when I'm using a glycolic acid of any kind. I think my skin prefers lactic acid, which would suggest it's more dry because, you know, well, I suppose glycolic acid is probably for all skin types, isn't it? But I know that it's a good ingredient. It's just for me, I don't feel much of a difference. So I won't be repurchasing it right now. This is the Revolution Superfix Super Hold Misting Spray, and this is full, completely full, because it is not particularly, it looks misty there, but it's not a fine mist. It feels like my face is soaked when I use this. I don't like the smell. I don't know what the smell is. Let me try it. It's sort of perfumed, but not a very nice perfume. And on top of that, it actually didn't work very well for me. So, because I spray this, I never used to use set and spray until masks, and I now use that on my face and I spray it in the mask as well. And I put it in my mask and there was makeup all over it. And that doesn't happen when I use the Morphe Continuous or the Urban Decay All Nighter. So that's a big fail. Another item I got from Revolution is this micellar water. I was really excited about this, the Revolution micellar water niacinamide. I bought this from Boots. They were on the shelves. There was a niacinamide one, I think maybe a vitamin C one. Anyway, I looked at it and thought, oh, that's good. You know, it doesn't seem to have fragrance in it, and it's got niacinamide in it, which I think would be lovely to use as a toner. So you can see that I used it quite a few times and I was like, it's nice enough, but there's something that doesn't feel right about it. And then one day I used it and I could see that as I was using it, it was sort of foaming, and I squeezed my little reusable cotton pad and it was foaming, and I was like, no, don't like that. That's what I'm not liking. And that's what I think a lot of people mean when they say that they like to wash their micellar water off because it leaves the residue. Now the Superdrug B Pure one doesn't do that for me, and neither does the Yes to Cucumbers one, neither does the Amazon one, but this one, yeah, left a horrible residue, so I was like, no, that's not for me. Talking of micellar waters, I finished my Superdrug B Pure. It still exists, because remember we thought this, not just me, a couple of you said they're discontinuing it. It seemed like they weren't going to sell this anymore because it wasn't on the shelves, but I've still seen it and I have got a couple of bottles. Long may it last. This is another one from the Superdrug B range. B, it just says cleanse, eye makeup remover, panthenol and cucumber extract. But I've used every drop of this, and this is one of those oil and liquid. And they've stopped doing their stubborn makeup remover oil and liquid. But I think it's just this, and they're just calling it an eye makeup remover. So I figured I would try it. So I used this, I just shook it and used it all over my face to remove my makeup, and it's been great, but particularly great at getting eye makeup eye makeup off. So I would buy this again for sure. By the way, most of you will have seen this shorter hair on Instagram. I just was so fed up with the fact that I couldn't do Velcro rollers because my hair was so long that, like, I couldn't even reach, you know, if I was putting my arms up like that, I couldn't reach the ends of my hair and it was hurting my elbows. And blow drying took forever. Using a styling brush took forever. Washing and drying it, when I put my towel around it, the hair was coming out at the end of the towel. I was like, no, I need to have it chopped off. It's so much more manageable at this length. I don't know why I randomly just told you that. That wasn't what I was going to randomly tell you. Oh, I was going to tell you about the links that I put in these videos, in Empties particularly. Some people will ask for links. I certainly can't link every single item in here because I would be there for days and it would be like pages long. So what I tend to do is just link a few of the things that I've said to you I really recommend, and these are really good. So that's what I'll do. Well, I try and stick on skincare, being so kind of on it. I finished up my EUK 34. This is by The Ordinary. This is one of those products that I love, but I can't tell you what it does for my skin in the long run. I mean, there are claims that it's you know, protecting from the environment and yada yada yada, but I like how it instantly feels. I've realised that with me, I'm about how things make my skin feel kind of pretty short term, and this is something that it just feels lovely. It feels really oily, it feels really nice to put on in the morning, it feels really nourishing, makes my skin feel really soft, and I think it's a pretty good ingredient. So I buy it now and again. It's a bit of a pain, this EUK, because you can't put any other acids on, so you can't put your vitamin C on, etc. So I'm not going to rush out and buy another bottle just yet, but I'm sure I will in the future. I finished the Bee Balm by the Geek and Gorgeous, and I did like this. There's actually a little bit left in this because this is another kind of realization I've come to, which is that I don't think niacinamide is great for my skin. And I think that's why I was buying this toner. I know that niacin is good for your skin. I think it's great, you know, to protect your skin barrier, and there are a lot of benefits from it. But for me, it's not something I ever put on and was like, oh, my skin feels amazing. In fact, it was something whenever I use it, I'd be like, God, I seem to be, you know, my skin seems to be a little bit irritated. Is that because of that? I seem to always have that question mark about it. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to not use niacin anymore. I'm quite happy using peptides, and that's something I can use instead of niacin. But it's just, I do something like a micellar water with niacin in it, or a product that had niacin in it, but I'm not going to look for something that is 100% niacin. But as a product, as a niacin, it was really good. It didn't ball up on my skin, didn't pill. It was nice. Imagine I turned 50 at the beginning of June, and this is how long it's taken me to figure out what my skin likes. But I suppose I only started liking or paying attention to skincare, I guess 10 years ago. No, not even 10 years ago. 8 years ago when I started YouTube. Oh, this I love and would definitely repurchase. It's the Glossier, it's called Milky Oil. Yeah, Milky Oil Waterproof Makeup Remover. I absolutely love this. This is brilliant. It's just, as it says, it's a milky oil, and it just sweeps your makeup off without any pulling, without any rubbing. Really love it. You know how I love those kind of oil and water makeup removers. Is that skincare? No. Oh, here we go. This is the NIOD Hydration Vaccine. You guys know I love this. I absolutely adore it. I have used every bit of it. I was using their spoon with it, and this is just like a hug in skincare. That's what it makes me think of, because it's like you put it on and it's almost like you're putting a soft blanket on your face. You know, you rub it in and you're like, oh, it just feels like it's sealed everything in, and it's your skin feels like baby skin, and it's just really, really nice. So I've loved that for a long, long time, and will continue to buy it occasionally. I've bought it occasionally. I've been sent it occasionally by DCM as well. I finished the Super Active Capsules by Beauty Pie. Essential ceramides with glyco and sphinger lipids. I actually can't remember. I think I liked these. I can't remember feeling one way or the other about these. I think I liked them, but not as much as my number 7 capsules, which I've just finished. I just showed you these in a favourites, and I've just finished the ceramides and peptides one. I've now got the other one, which is squalane, I think, and something. But I think I enjoyed these, but not as much as this. These were a bit oilier. So maybe if you've got drier skin, something from Beauty Pie, these Super Active Capsules would be good. But I'm not going back to buy anything from Beauty Pie at the moment, so it's not something I would repurchase. I would repurchase the number 7 ones. Like I said, they're not quite as oily, which I prefer, I think. Oh, this is the A Game by Geek and Gorgeous. This is the Retinal, Retinal 10, I think it is. Yeah, A Game 10. So this is something I would repurchase. This is another product that I think my skin likes it. I've still not 100% figured one way or the other, because you know that I came to the conclusion that retinol my skin just doesn't like at all. Tretinoin my skin doesn't mind, it doesn't get that irritated with, but the resulting dryness and whatnot for me never went away. And I always get advices and said, oh, you need to start slower, blah, blah, blah. Years and years ago, I did it so slowly, and I just waited and waited and waited, and the peeling and my skin never looked good. And I think one place I'm at is that I want to put something on and see the evidence. Like I said, I want to see a short-term result. And if my skin feels nicer using something, then I'm going to use it. If it makes it feel all dry and irritated, I'm probably not going to use it. So I stopped tretinoin, I stopped retinol, but I know that retinoids are good for you. And so this is retinal, so it should convert into tretinoic acid in your skin, just with one step. But what I can say about this is my skin's never been irritated using this at all. It's actually felt quite nice. So I'm going to order, which will probably be my 4th bottle of this. I've gone through quite a few, so I do really like that. So that's my kind of anti-aging, if you like, is that A game. This is the Argireline solution by The Ordinary. I don't know if I showed you that I bought this. It's another one where I was just like, let me try that again and see if anything, you know, works around these crow's feet. But I haven't seen much. I would probably need to use it for a lot longer, but I already did that. I think I used it for 6 months and did a before and after and couldn't see any difference quite some years ago. And I used it and it's nice enough, but I didn't see anything in the time I've been using it. So it's not a repurchase for me just now. I didn't finish this. Why did I not finish this? This was irritating my skin, that's why. This next one is the Bondi Sands Buff and Polish. This is their gentle chemical exfoliant, but this is one that I just didn't feel like was doing anything for my skin, but my skin felt slightly sensitive, which is ironic because this one is a gentle chemical exfoliant. It's got AHA and PHA, so it's supposed to be for sensitive skin. But for me, my skin felt, not hugely, it didn't break out or anything, but it just felt a little bit more sensitive, and I didn't feel like my skin felt particularly nice. So that is not one that I enjoyed. And remember, I enjoyed most of the Bondi Sands products. I used up this eye treatment, Hydrating Eye Treatment by Beauty Bay. Not one I would repurchase, just because, you know me, I find it a chore using an eye cream. I really like the NIOD FECC. Have I got that in here? Have I used that one up? I thought I did. No. I really like the NIOD FECC, and I find eye creams that I like occasionally, and actually I've got one that I'm using at the moment, which is a balm, a retinoid balm that I'm quite enjoying, but I still keep forgetting to use it. I haven't been using it consistently every single day because, like I said, I find that extra step just a chore for some reason, but this was nice enough, but not a repurchase for me. This one I would repurchase. It looks like the same thing, doesn't it? But you can see from the tops that they're different. This one is Lip SOS Mask, castor oil and borage seed oil. So you can see I've used all of that. I really enjoyed that as a lip balm. Really, really nice. One of those that you didn't need to keep on putting on. You know, you put on and go, okay, yeah, I feel like I'm getting some hydration. I don't need to go back to it half an hour later. So I did enjoy that. I almost finished my multi-biotic moisturizer by Boots Ingredients. You guys know I love the one that looks exactly the same as this, that is the hyaluronic acid moisturizer, but this one just didn't feel the same. Actually, it felt a little bit thicker, but it didn't feel like it was hydrating my skin as much as I needed, so there's a little bit left in that. I didn't finish it completely, so that's not a repurchase for me. And then finally, this is the Matrixyl 10%. This is something I will repurchase. There was something I said I was going to buy there. I'm going to buy my Geek Gorgeous Retinal, and I'm going to buy my Matrixyl 10%. I really like the feeling of this. I like the fact that it's a concentrated peptide that's known about, and it's the one I enjoy the most. I enjoy it more than Buffet, more than any of the copper peptides. I don't like the smell of those anyway, but this is the one that feels nicest on my skin, so I would definitely repurchase that. Everything else is makeup, mascara and hair care. So this was the biggest fail ever, and I think I told you that when I showed you my haul buying it. It is the Garnier Ultimate Blends No Rinse Conditioner Softening. And do you remember, I thought it was really odd because I thought, what is the difference between this and a leave-in conditioner that you leave in and don't rinse? This is just calling it no rinse, and it's sort of advertising it as new technology. But anyway, I thought I would try it as a leave-in conditioner and not use any conditioner, and it felt terrible. My hair didn't dry nicely. It felt dry but also oily. It was the most bizarre thing. But I think I said to you at the time I was using it on my dog, and because I wanted to use it up and I'd checked the pH and whatnot. But I used it on him one time and then his coat was greasy and I was like, no, this is not good. This is a really big fail for me, so obviously not a repurchase. This is the Bond Restore treatment by Revolution. There was a tiny bit left in this, so I used it yesterday and then used my Olaplex. This is one that I don't think I would buy again. I don't know, I might buy this again because I think I did a full review of this, by the way, and as I said in that, it's nice, and it's nice if you can't afford the Olaplex, but it isn't giving the same re-strengthening feeling. This gives more of a soft feeling, you know. My hair does feel much better today using the Olaplex and a little bit of this, but it isn't enough on its own. You know, I wouldn't turn to this when my hair was really feeling like dry or damaged or weak or whatever. But I would use this just as a sort of nice to use product. This is the Boots Ingredients Repair Conditioner with niacinamide. There's ingredients going in everything now, isn't there? You know, niacinamide is appearing in skincare, hair care and everything. This was just okay. It was, you know, the Boots Ingredients skincare, now they've got the hair care, and so I bought it to try and it was just okay, but it isn't one that I would repurchase. I was able to use a lot. It didn't weigh my hair down, but neither did it really condition it as much as I needed either, so that's not a repurchase for me. Nothing else. Oh no, this is hair care. This is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day 5-in-1 styling treatment. It's so interesting to me how things are changing as I get older. Interesting / depressing because this was always my kind of go-to for volume, and oh, that's my blooming washing machine beeping. Hold please. I've been testing out Colour Wow products because there was a few that I kind of got sucked in by the hype, you know, and one of the things I was trying was the extra large mousse, and I tried it once and thought, okay, that didn't work very well, but maybe my hair is different now with age, and so let me try my usual, which is this is one of my usual things that I would rely on for getting really good volume, for sort of styling my hair and it's staying that way for a few days. And so I tried this again and my hair just didn't feel very nice. This was in the last couple of days. I used the last little bit up and I thought, so that's obviously my hair is just changed. It's changing with age. It has changed with age. It feels a lot better today, so I don't know whether, like, if I got this again and used it in the future, if it would work. So I probably would buy this again to try it because I've loved it for years and I love the smell. It's a really sort of medical type smell and it always worked so well for me, so I probably would try it again, but just this last use of it didn't work. My hair just didn't feel great and there was a little bit of volume, but mostly it just didn't feel great. Oh my god, I could keep the world in mascaras, couldn't I? I'm so fussy and I've not put my labels on, so good luck to me in remembering to tell you what I didn't like about them. But I have got this in here. This is the All-Nighter Spray in Ultra Matte Long Lasting Makeup Setting Spray. I found this really good, but I didn't necessarily think it was ultra matte. It didn't make my face ultra matte. I liked the original one. I didn't have any problems with that. If my face was matte and I used the original one, it stayed matte. This didn't seem to do anything extra, if you know what I mean. So I would just buy the original one again. We go through these blooming mascaras and see what I can remember. Oh, this is the Kiko Smart Colour Mascara. This one I do remember didn't do anything. It's a nice little brush. You know, it looks like the kind of brush that you'd think I'd like, but it didn't do anything for my lashes at all. I can't remember this Beauty Pie. I've got this Beauty Pie one and I can't remember what I don't like about it, so I'm going to put it aside. Oh, when am I going to learn? Do you remember I did it once? I put stickers on each thing saying what was wrong with it. And I need to do that with mascaras just because of the amount I go through. Oh, that's not a mascara at all. That's good. This one I do remember. This is I think this might be Smashbox, is it? It's called Super Fan. Yeah, I think it's Smashbox Super Fan Mascara. It's one of those little minis that was at the checkout. I had high hopes for this because it goes on really well. And I do like the brush. You know, it's a nice little small brush. I don't like to have an expensive mascara, but considering how many I've gone through and how fussy I am, I'd be pleased to find one regardless. This one was really nice, but it was so hard to remove and that put me off. Like, it was literally, I had to rub my eyes to try and get this off and I didn't like that side of it. This one was recommended by you guys and it's Catrice Glam & Dole Sculpt and Volume. So I had to get this from eBay. But I saw the brush and was like, okay, yeah, I can get on board with that. It's quite small. It's quite, you know, I think I'm going to be able to get separated lashes. I put it on and I was like, wow, love it. Really love this. But there was little crumbles, and I'm still not 100% sure whether that was coming from this, because I can't imagine that eyeliner would crumble. It could only be your mascara, couldn't it? So I think there was little crumbles coming from this. But what I noticed twice in a row was my mascara all up here. You know, when obviously your skin is being a bit oily, and it just took all of the mascara off the ends, and it was just sitting on top of my eyes like halfway through the day, and that happened quite a few times. So unfortunately that's not going to work for me. My eyelids are obviously too oily. This I thought was an eyeliner, but it's not. It's the X Lash Pro Eyelash Serum. So I have been using this religiously. I think one of you guys recommended it, and so I've been using it on my lashes, and I haven't really noticed anything. I mean, they're maybe a little bit more than they would usually be. You know, they're maybe not quite as short as they would usually be, because I've not got any lashes on or anything, but I certainly haven't noticed anything amazing. So I've gone back to, it's now for sale, it's called Maycreate, I think. I'll make sure I link that one for you, because that one did work really well for me. So this one isn't a repurchase for me. This is the Line Fix by Revolution Under Eye Primer. And do you remember I talked about this and said I tried the one from Beauty Pie, but I was using this one, and this one I felt like was better. God, that's an amount I've got out, isn't it? What am I thinking? So you put this underneath your eyes, and it's supposed to smooth everything out, and then you put your concealer on top. I very quickly realised that I should have known this about myself. There's no way I'm doing that extra step. It does make a little bit of difference, but not enough for me to bother using this. So it's nice. It is nice, and if you don't mind there being so many steps, it's a little bit helpful, but it's not like magic. You know, it's not like that Peter Roth one where you suddenly can't see the wrinkles. It just smooths it a little bit, and so to me it's not worth the extra effort. If it was a concealer, you know, if that was a concealer colour, then yes, absolutely, but it's not. I used up the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I actually cut the middle out. You can see I just couldn't get enough powder out, so I cut the middle bit out to use the rest of it up. I didn't really like this. I like things really matte, and this didn't give me a matte look. I thought it gave me a strange look. I know most people love this, but it wasn't for me. Same with this. People love this. This is the P. Louise base, eye base, and you can see how much is left. It's so strong, but this is I think this would be great if you just wanted to use your eye primer to cover redness on your eyelids, or, you know, to cover anything, just to make your eyelids really, really pale before putting makeup on. That would be great. But I don't like this because it dries down really, really quickly. And I like there to be a little bit of tackiness to my eye primer for my eyeshadow to stick to. That's just what I prefer. And so I have tried it quite a few times, and I just don't enjoy using it. I wonder if that would work as a concealer on spots. I haven't tried it under my eyes either. I can't imagine it would be great under the eyes. It's a bit too full coverage, you know, but might be good as a spot concealer. Then I've got the Kiko Ultimate Pen. This is just a felt tip pen eyeliner. I'm trying all different types of eyeliners because you guys know I can't get my beloved NYX eyeliner, liquid eyeliner anymore, so I'm trying all sorts. And this one was pretty good. I liked this as a pen, but it has dried up really quickly, because I think I only bought this, well, actually I don't know how long ago it was, but it didn't last very long. It lasted 3 or 4 weeks, and then I was like, I can't get any colour coming out of it at all, so not a repurchase for that reason. This one was really good. This is the Catrice Micro Tip Graphic Eyeliner. So it looks like that. Really inexpensive one. But this was really, really good. And this sat while I used this one, this Kiko one, and then when this ran out, I went back to this and used this for another couple of weeks. So this one lasted really, really well. I'd already been using it a few weeks beforehand. It took a long, long time to dry up. So if you like those kind of felt tip pens, they're great for doing, you know, a little wing at the corner like I do. So highly recommend that. Oh, I thought I was done there, but I'm not. There's a couple of other things in here. Eyeliners. This is the Catrice Kohl Kajal. I'm always trying to find a black eyeliner pencil that I can put in my waterline that will stay. This is not one of them. I put this on and within 10 minutes it was like everywhere. So that's a definite no. This is the Sleek 48-hour eyeliner. So this, I was really hopeful about this one because I thought this looks like my NYX one. You know, it's got the brush that I like. It looks like a really intense black. It's a drugstore one, so it's inexpensive, it's cruelty free, you know, I was like, this is very, very hopeful. But this was another one that was just, I can see why it's called a 48-hour eyeliner, because you can't get it off, and I don't want something that solid on my eyes. I am so fussy. I want something that's not going to budge all day while I'm out and about, but when I want to remove it, I want it to come off. And this one wouldn't, you know, so I would do my usual remove my makeup either with my oil and water or in the shower using, you know, I'm using that Buttercup cleansing balm. But every time I got out of the shower, I would still have eyeliner on my eyes, and I was like, that's just mad. And even using my oil and water, I would really need to rub my eyes. So again, that's just not something I want to do. So if you are looking for a super stay put eyeliner and you're not worried about wrinkling up your eyes, this sleek one is really, really good. Okay, that is everything. Ta-da! I don't know how long that took, but it certainly wasn't a short video, was it? Hopefully I gave you enough information. But as always, if you've got any questions about any of these products that you want to know before you buy it, then leave it in the comments, and I always do my best to answer any questions. So that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll list all of my makeup in the description, and I'll speak to you again soon.